It was one of those long drives when the sky looked as though it couldn't make up its mind. Half sunshine, half storm. I had been on the road for nearly 7 hours, trying to reach my cousin Rachel's place for the weekend. The plan was simple: visit family, relax a little, and spend some much-needed time away from the stress of my small apartment in the city. But as fate often does, things didn't go exactly as planned. My car, a silver sedan that had seen better days, gave a sudden jolt and then a hiss that made my stomach sink. I pulled over to the side of the quiet country road and stepped out into the damp air. The front tire had completely flattened. My phone had just enough signal to call roadside assistance, but they told me it would take hours before someone could reach me. That's when I saw headlights approaching from the distance. A dark blue pickup truck slowed as it passed, then stopped and reversed toward me. Out stepped a tall man in his early 40s with kind eyes, neatly trimmed hair, and the sort of calm presence that instantly made me feel safer. "You need help?" he asked, his voice steady, friendly. "Yes," I admitted, brushing a strand of hair from my face. "Flat tire. And I'm not sure my spare's even good anymore." He walked over, glanced at the damage, and gave a nod. "Name's Daniel. I live just a few miles down the road. Why don't I give you a ride there? You can call for help from my place and stay dry. It looks like rain's coming." It was risky, I knew. Accepting rides from strangers wasn't something I normally did. But something about Daniel felt trustworthy. Maybe it was the way he didn't push, simply offered. Or maybe it was the thunder rumbling in the distance. Either way, I agreed. The drive to his house was short. His home was a large, 2-story farmhouse with warm lights glowing through the windows. Inside, it smelled faintly of coffee and cedarwood. The living room was tidy, with books stacked neatly on the shelves and a fireplace crackling gently. "You're welcome to stay in the guest room," he said after I explained that the tow truck wouldn't make it until morning. "It's no trouble at all. Safer than sitting in your car on the side of the road all night." Grateful, I nodded. "Thank you, Daniel. Really." He led me upstairs to a cozy guest room with a quilted bedspread, a rocking chair near the window, and a lamp that gave off a soft golden glow. It felt homely, safe. After showing me where everything was, Daniel excused himself and said goodnight. The rain had started falling harder by then, tapping steadily against the windows as I slipped beneath the covers. Exhaustion tugged at me, and I began to drift off. That's when I heard the faintest creak of the floorboards outside the room. My heart skipped, unsure if it was just the house settling or something more. The door opened quietly, and I sat up, startled, only to see a young girl, maybe 9 or 10 years old, clutching a stuffed bear. "Oh," she whispered, wide-eyed. "I didn't mean to scare you. This used to be my room." I exhaled in relief, smiling gently. "It's okay. You didn't scare me. What's your name?" "Emma," she said softly, stepping further inside. "Sometimes, when it storms, I don't like sleeping alone. Daddy says I should be brave, but can I stay here just for a little while?" Her innocence touched me. Clearly, this was Daniel's daughter. The way she held her bear so tightly reminded me of myself at her age, afraid of thunderstorms. "Of course," I said, lifting the blanket, so she could climb in beside me. "I used to hate storms too, but it's easier when someone's there." Emma nestled under the covers, her tiny hands still gripping the bear. "Do you know any stories?" she asked. I chuckled softly. "I know a few. Want to hear one?" She nodded eagerly, and so I began to tell her about a little bird who was afraid to fly until it realized the whole sky was waiting. Halfway through, her breathing slowed, her eyes drooping until she finally drifted off, safe and sound. When morning came, Daniel knocked lightly and peeked in, smiling when he saw Emma curled up beside me. "She used to come in here during storms all the time," he said softly. "Sorry if she disturbed you." "Not at all," I assured him. "She's wonderful. And she made the night feel a lot less lonely." Daniel looked at me for a long moment, his eyes warm with gratitude. "I don't usually let strangers in, you know. But something told me you'd understand. Thank you for being kind to her." The tow truck eventually came, and I was back on the road by noon. But as I drove away, I couldn't shake the feeling that I had stumbled into something rare. Not just a safe place to stay, but a reminder of the small, unexpected connections that make life feel less heavy. It wasn't just that Daniel gave me the guest room, it was that someone joined me in the most innocent, unexpected way. A little girl who reminded me of the courage we sometimes lose as adults and the kindness we find in strangers who open their doors when we need it most. And though I reached my cousin's house later that day, my thoughts lingered on the farmhouse, the storm, and the simple warmth of being welcomed in.